Madonna, because Madonna was intubated and rushed to ICU yesterday. It was a big story in the news. It came out right as the show was going off air. But there has been some speculation now that first, of course, you had to have the main people who come out and they're saying it's related to the vaccine. Of course,
or they were saying it's long COVID because she got intubated at the hospital.
Yeah. So first it was COVID, and now we're also seeing some speculation that this could be related to all of the plastic surgery she's gotten.
Yeah, so her manager posted on Instagram saying that this is a very bad bacterial infection, which makes some people speculate that it's related to complications of plastic surgery.
And let me know, bacterial infection is no fun. No fun. None of this, nothing like that is ever a pleasant experience, nor is anybody wishing ill upon Madonna.
Yeah.
Is annoying as she may be at times. I was thinking
she's still relatively young. She's only in her 60s, and it doesn't make sense for her physical health. I mean, I know her mental health is kind of crazy, but this getting hospitalized like this doesn't make much sense because she seems to be in relatively good physical health. So I would bet it's related to all of that foreign silicone that's been injected into her face and her body.
I was looking through some social media profiles recently looking for possible guests for the show, and I saw this one from somebody, because was it who is the Adrienne Curry, who talks about how she had implants and had them removed because of a bad reaction to them, or was that somebody else? Or was that
I don't know if Adrienne.
A lot of people have talked about that. Recently.
There was somebody else that said it was literally somebody who advertised himself as anti-breast enhancement activist because of the lack of attention that's paid to complications, given how common it is.
Well, with breast implants, you have to get them removed and replaced every 10 years, I believe, on an interval like that. And if you don't, then it could give you a serious infection, or basically you'll get an autoimmune response because there is a foreign body inside of your body that your immune system is going to attack.
It is crazy to think about how a lot of this stuff is invented, and it's just there can't have been any long-term research on how it affects the body, right? It's just you just give them a go. I still believe that one day we're going to pay the piper for phones. Really, when you think about how quickly cell phones became a thing, there wasn't enough long-term study to know whether this is going to nuke our brains or not one day.
Yes, there was. But the thing is, cell phones are just radios.
Okay.
So they operate on radio frequencies. It's just the technology inside them makes them seem like they're not just walkie-talkies, but it's the same technology. It's just different frequencies.
So, but there's still plenty of stuff right now where, like you said, forever, however long implants have been around, I wonder how long it was before somebody realized that at a certain point you needed to have them removed and replaced because of adverse reactions.
Yeah, and this is just as experimental and risky as these gender transition surgeries. Yep. It's just for different reasons that people get them. So here are some speculations on Twitter. Madonna and plastic surgery both started trending when the news broke that she was hospitalized. One person said, I wonder if Madonna's bacterial infection is from her BBL and face injections she recently redid. She was lucky the first time, but the second time may have been too much for her elderly body to handle. Plastic surgery gets tricky at her advanced age. Another one said, I could be wrong, but what if plastic surgery contributed to the bacterial infection Madonna suffered? As someone who's always been a major advocate for women, she should be able to embrace natural aging and not go under the knife as often. She needs to prioritize her health again. And we were also talking about this because Blac Chyna recently got all of the silicone in her butt taken out, and all of her fillers that were in her face dissolved. And this stuff seriously can affect your health. A lot of people don't know that because it enriches the doctors that do these procedures, and they won't tell you the risks because they want more customers. Yep. But yeah, it can be seriously dangerous, and not just for your physical health, but for your mental health as well, to have such a distorted self-image. Madonna seriously does. I think even just in the 2010s, she looked so much better. if you just look at pictures of her from like the 2010s, she looks totally normal. And for some reason has gone off the deep end with these surgeries and
somebody told me
fillers.
she fixed the tooth gap. That made me sad. I liked like when she had the tooth gap. I thought that was very charming and part of her personality. I remember when she randomly showed up in a James Bond movie. She was in Die Another Day, and she's got the tooth gap, and you're just like, oh, wow, Madonna. That's awesome. And it is sad. And there's a distinction to be made between a woman who gets a procedure done as she's aging and somebody who has this much cosmetic surgery over and over again. It's no one's business to tell her what to do other than herself, but complications are going to arise. And it's a fair discussion to have about what it says about how we've raised women to have a lot of body dysmorphia. I mean, it happens with men now too, but obviously with women, it's so much more prevalent.
Have you seen these horrifying videos where men are getting rhinoplasties? Like usually men with ethnic noses, they're getting rhinoplasties to have this little like effeminate button nose because they have like this dysmorphia about their face.
Believe it or not, that hasn't shown up in my timeline. No.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of examples of it, and it's a heinous crime in my opinion because it just doesn't. When you have a certain genetic makeup, it doesn't make sense for you to have literally a Eurocentric feature like that. It looks incredibly disturbing and like gives me uncanny valley to look at it. Yeah. But Madonna is like really gone off the deep end getting these surgeries,
and she's so far along in the process that if this is one of those things where somebody's had 1 or 2 procedures done and something really bad happens, they're more likely to come out as an advocate against it. But I don't see that being the case here. I see this. It's kind of like they say, like it's easier to trick someone than to convince them they've been tricked. Like I don't think that she's going to allow it, and again, this is all theory. There's no proof whatsoever that this is what caused this stuff. It's just a fair question to ask that if it was these things that made her sick, she's so far along that I don't see it being the type of thing where she says, oh, now I need to go back the other way and start advocating like, look, maybe you guys should hold up. Maybe you should wait. Like you're just going to lean harder into it.
I mean, even if it, if she does come out of this okay and unscathed, that's what we're hoping for. But if that happens, she's definitely not going to be like, oh, hey, I had a revelation when I was healing and getting better, and now I'm going to actually spend time telling people don't do. That is not going to happen. Like, there's no part of me that believes that's
obviously the detransitioning debate is far more politicized, but I think we're going to see more and more people getting plastic surgeries over the years who are going to, like, I guess, detransition in their own way from just the negative health effects from getting all of these. And I don't think it's like evil or morally wrong necessarily to get a cosmetic procedure, especially if you do it sparingly and you do it in a way that's like corrective. Like if you have had a bunch of children and you want to get a tummy tuck, like that's different from changing the entire shape of your body and face, which is what Madonna has done.
People are going to do all of the stuff that they can do to their bodies to make them as augmented as possible, regardless of how anyone feels about it. The better.
It's transhumanists.
Yeah. There's absolutely going to be transhumanists that will do everything they can, upgrade their hearing, upgrade their vision, upgrade their musculature. If you could give people like Wolverine's adamantium
fake muscles
bones,
are the craziest.
That would happen.
Have you seen the fake muscles?
Yes,
that's crazy.
All of that stuff is coming.
Ab implants, which
absolutely.
I think Elliot Page got the ab implants.
Those are just cosmetic, and I think while I do agree that cosmetic stuff is going to be a large driver, as soon as they can do augmentation, like. That's going to be a hot ticket. There's going to be people that are going to be like, oh, you mean I can walk and not get tired? Yeah, I want that.
Do you think a big part of this comes from, like, look, back in the day, before you had a phone in your pocket, before you were constantly online, the people you saw on a daily basis the most were regular looking people. Now you spend so much time on the internet, you spend so much time on your phone looking at Photoshop versions of people, looking at videos with a ton of post special effects on them. Like, we are now looking at idealized forms so often that it makes it harder for us to grasp what's actually in front of us, which are regular looking people. And that leads to more of a reason for people to feel uncomfortable in their own bodies if the people they see the most are people that are being shown at their height of their peak fitness rather than actually seeing what normal people look like on a regular basis?
The idea that what normal people look like is going to be important in the future, I think is going to go away. I don't think that what normal people look like is going to be very high on most people's list, because right now people don't find themselves looking at normal people, and what people want to see is becoming the perfected idealized idea.
But even then, like, you go to Target now and all the models in the ads are just regular looking people. Like, you don't see a lot of idealized beauty at Target anymore.
Yeah, but then when you give people the option to create their own in avatars and stuff like that, they're either complete freaks, like, because that's some of the stuff that me and my friends do. Like, you just make the guy, like, your character look as weird. If you can put clown hair on them, give them horns, whatever, to make them look freaky, so that way the cutscenes are really hilarious. You got this weird looking, anyways. But otherwise, like, people make their avatars as cool looking as they can. Diablo just came out, and everybody's putting up pictures of the avatars they created in Diablo, and they're all different and stuff. And that's what people are going to do. The more they can use avatars and apply that kind of stuff to real life, I think they're going to end up doing it. That's why you see people that are doing things like cosplay more and fursuits and stuff and their conventions. You're going to see people walking around in reality dressed up like that more and more.
Which is why we need to bring back bullying.
I mean, you can bring back bullying, but we were just talking about augmented human beings, and I'm not going to try to bullyate the Terminator. Bullyate. I'm not going to try to bully
Bullyate. We need
I'm
to
just
make that
saying,
a word.
if someone is walking around in a fursuit, I'm going to publicly shame them.
Yeah. But,
have you noticed that they all have like these
you're protected by the fact that it's socially unacceptable.
That make themselves look harmless, or they, like, a lot of these online leftists, especially, they make cartoon avatars of themselves that look nothing like the horrifying reality of what they look like.
Yes, because they don't want
it's escapism.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You are protected because it is socially unacceptable to hit women. Whereas if a guy just goes up and shames the Terminator, he's getting knocked out.
Seriously.
I don't know, but these days it's equal rights, equal fights.
No, that everyone says that, but that's not how it's actually interpreted. Sure, the comment section might bear that out, but your how it's actually applied in the real world does not hold that water. I could be wrong, because I guess, like, world star hip hop is still a thing, and there are plenty. Like, I have watched many compilation videos of, like, the woman just tearing the dude apart in a restaurant and then hits him, and then he hits her, and then, like,
lights out.
And it's just like, and it's like, and there's nothing you can take away from that other than, like, whatever, like, not my business, and
don't hit people.
Nobody lay hands on other people.
Don't hit
right?
people.
Just leave people alone.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think this is the type of thing that do you think this is what caused it for Madonna, or do you think that this was just an unfortunate event?
I don't know. It doesn't make much sense other than this hypothesis.
I mean, people get sick. I mean,
right,
was she on? I know she postponed a tour to do this. If she's on the road and because you can become immunocompromised from being on the road, you're not sleeping well, you're not eating right.
So she first postponed the tour because of her child trafficking allegations, but I don't know. If you guys are ready to get into that
forgot about that
topic.
So you can be, the road can make you tired. She is in her 60s. But like, the thing is, like, the way the Madonna tours is not. Like, it's not like even when All That Remains is touring. Like, we're a successful band that, we don't tour, we don't slum it. We're not taking a van, we don't take a bandwagon. We're gonna get in a bus, and then we're gonna have a full crew, and it's gonna be comfortable. Even that is like, all right, you're probably not gonna have, like, the real, you got worn out from overworking, blah blah blah. At least not if you're managing your time properly. Madonna, I don't know what her tour schedule's like, but I imagine that she's staying in hotel rooms every night. She's not lugging her bags up to her room.
No.
It's funnier. It's funnier if she is. She's actually super polite behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen that video? There was the thing that came out when they were promoting John Wick 4, where they were building one of the sets, and Keanu's like helping the guys who are building the sets bring the bags up the stairs.
That's Keanu Reeves.
We got one from Ertez 00. He said, "I'm actually actively working out hard to complain mash burn dead. Funny anime about jacked dude using muscles against magic. Either that or I'd go One Punch Man.
Look, getting in shape is important, right? It's important to get in shape, or to, at the very least, like any physical activity that gets you out of your head for a little bit, even if it's not the focus isn't to get in shape, but just to have something to do other than just like a lot of times when I'm scrolling Twitter and I see people fighting, all I can think about is how much of this would be solved if you just got off your phone and went for a walk.
Just go for a walk.
Anything.
Like you can even walk with your phone and like
touch grass.
You can scroll.
I don't like that.
Take pictures of grass and post it.
Right?
Touch grass has been turned into an insult now because it's used as like a kick rocks, like
every time you get in an online argument, they say touch grass, and then if you actually do touch grass and go away from your phone for a while, they're like, you're dodging the question, you're dodging the criticism, whatever. So you can't win. Yeah,
for me, it's like I have like an internal clock now that tells me when I've been on my phone too long. And the hardest time for that is like on a work night when it's late at night when I don't have the option. Like I'm not going to go skate at 1 a.m. on a work night, at least not on a regular basis. Sometimes I'll be out till that late, but I'm not going to go out at that time. But I've been on my phone too long. I know I've been on my phone too long. And there's not really a recourse at that point. But if it's the middle of the day, if you're done with work and you have the ability to get away from your phone, do it. It's the best thing for you, even if it's just for a little bit.
I think Madonna could use some time off of her phone.
She could do some
away from TikTok
and away from the child trafficking and the.
Yeah.
Like also, it's like how much do you really want to give the lady the benefit of the doubt who still thinks it's like edgy to like make fun of Christians? Like that's still her thing. Like she's still making fun of religion as if it's the 80s. Like
that's like what the whole Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and essentially every pride parade is taunting Christians.
Yeah,
it's funny because as they were like parading around these drag queens, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence or whatever they call themselves, there were less people in the seats than were outside protesting. Yeah. So I think the tide is turning on that.
Also, like with that stuff, like isn't that kind of on the church for like inviting these groups to like talk to the Pope? I saw something where like one of
they're not like part of the Catholic Church.
The artist who created Piss Christ was like invited to speak to the Pope.
Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the guy who created, which a lot of people found to be extremely blasphemous, got to go and meet the Pope.
I am not a Catholic, and I'm an agnostic kind of person, but even I can tell that the Pope is not he's a heretic.
He's not adhering to the
as far as anybody raised Catholic can tell.
Well,
like it looks to me like that is like a dude that is infiltrated.
He might have said some things that are confusing, that lack clarity, that possibly qualify as a material heresy, but he's not a formal heretic. I'll at least say that. But you, as a Catholic, you don't have to like the Pope, thankfully. You don't even have to know anything about him.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.